Welcome, Gunrunner.
Hey everybody, Q&AK the Lair here, and I've got a little book preview for you today for a Kindle book, one that it's taken me a while to do because this book's actually been out about a month or so I think now. I just hadn't got round to doing this video, I hadn't had time, so better late than never, but it is one that a few people have asked me if I was going to do, so here we are. I got there in the end. And as you can see, it is my new Nintendo Game Boy Games book. And it's a Kindle only book. And just to give you a bit of background behind why I did this book, it's because with my old publisher, I did a little book called The A to Z of Nintendo Game Boy Games Volume 1. And that was the best-selling Kindle book I produced with Andrews UK. By quite a bit. It sold so well every single month, consistently for years. So I thought it would be good to do basically a completely new version of that book, which is basically what this is, as I will show you. So obviously it starts off with our usual intro, and then it goes straight into the reviews. So there's not, I haven't done a history of or anything like that at the beginning, like I kind of did with my Atari XE book. This one is very much about the games because I've packed an awful lot of games into this book. In fact, I've put over 200 game reviews in this Kindle book. I think that makes it my biggest one that I've done yet, to be honest. So I mean, it just reviews lots of different games in alphabetical order, including obviously well-known games and some of my own favourites. So, and all the reviews that were in my old A to Z book are in here. A lot of them have been rewritten or re-edited, but they are all in this book. But that book only had 78 reviews in it. So, big difference here to 200. It's over double the amount of reviews. So I'm sure there'll be my usual critics who seem to keep claiming that my new books that I've had coming out are exactly the same as the old books that I did through Andrews UK, when that's clearly not the case. And again, I'm proving them completely wrong because, as I say, it's over 200 reviews compared to 78. So yeah, a hell of a lot more content. So I'll just give you a little overview, obviously, what the book's about. I don't want to spoil too much of it for you. Let you know the price and stuff as well, which we'll get to near the end, I think. But obviously, it starts off there, so they're with the Addams Family. Now, another difference between this book and the old one that I did, the old Game Boy Kindle book, is that this one, you'll see, it depends if you read the old book or not, but the old one only had one screenshot per game. This one has two. One of the reasons for that, actually, is because my old publisher insisted that there was a limit on how many images you could have for Kindle books. So they always restricted me to having one screenshot per game. But that's actually not the case. I found out that's completely wrong since I started doing this self-publishing with the Kindle books. There is no limit at all that I can see. So yeah, I've been adding more images to the books, as you can see. So there we go. Adventure Island. So there we go. I generally put an in-game screenshot on a title screen or something like that. Not on all the games. Some games are a bit different. If the title screen is a bit boring, I'll put something else instead. But yeah, that's basically it. So we've got our game. So for example, the Asteroids, who published it the year it came out, and I give it a score out of 10 at the end. That's pretty much all there is to it, really. So I'll flick through it a little bit so you can kind of get a flavour of the book. So I skip forward to end. So there's Ninja Gaiden Shadow. That wasn't in the old book, I'm pretty sure. I think that's one of the new ones I added. Nintendo World Cup there. Odd World Adventures, that's another new one that I added in. I was really interested to try that game, actually, because I was familiar with the PlayStation game, Abe's Odyssey, and I didn't really realise there was a Game Boy one. It came out in 1998. making it one of the last Game Boy games to come out, actually, I believe. But it is very, very impressive indeed. I was very impressed with that. Olympic Summer Games. Let's go forward a bit more. Operation C. There's R-Type. That's definitely a new review. I know I did that one in. Race Driving. That's Rampart there. So, for example, I said some games have 2 in-game screenshots, so that Rampart does there. Road Rash there. There's another new review. Robocop, a favourite of mine from when I was younger, because my brother had that on his Game Boy, and Robocop on the Game Boy. Very similar to the Spectrum version, which I knew and loved already. Excellent game. One of the 10 out of 10s I gave in this book. It's one of my all-time favourite Game Boy games. Rodland, there's another excellent game as well. That's really good as well. Sensible Soccer, that's not so good. So there we go. That's a little bit about what it's about. So we just go through in alphabetical order. What game's that? There's World Heroes 2 Jet. Worm Visitor. So we've got all sorts of stuff in here. I mean, there's the well-known commercial titles, like Super Mario Brothers and Contra. Your stuff like that. And your many arcade ports and that as well. But I've also put in some like these Asian bootlegs. WWE Main Event, Wave Race, Nintendo. This is first party, third party, these Asian bootleg kind of games like Worm Visitor by Saturn in there. There's a few more like that. X, which was only ever released in Japan, so we've got import games in there as well that never made it over here. Xenon 2. Yu Hakusho, which I think that's just an import only game. I don't think that came out in Europe or America. Zip Balls, there's another one, actually another Saturn one, not a very good one. So there's all sorts of stuff like that in there as well. I can't remember. I think I put a couple of homebrews in, certainly not many. There is quite a vibrant homebrew community for the Game Boy, but I was mainly focusing on the commercial games in this one. I may well do a follow up actually. Depending on how well this one does, or just extend it and do a print version, which I think is probably something that people would like to see. There's another Saturn game there, and some numbered games at the end, like the 4-in-1 packs, and obviously some of my other books that are available at this current time. 3 Kindle books, and that's of course a print book. And my next book that I'm doing is going to be a print book as well, so that's coming soon, which is a compendium of MSX games, which is almost finished. I'm not far off getting that done. All I've got to do is add an intro to it and then proofread it, have it proofread. So that's where I am with that, and then the final approval by Amazon. So probably only a few weeks away at most from being published. But yeah, this is my Game Boy book anyway. The Game Boy Games book. It is UK price is $3.99, US price is $4.49. That's the standard retail. I did have some mention actually that on Amazon US, the prices weren't showing the same as what I'd said. They were showing a little bit more, which I didn't really understand. But I've been told by somebody else that apparently that's to do with taxes in the US. They add taxes in different states on. So apparently that's what that is. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, maybe someone can tell me if that's correct or not. But that's what a good friend of mine who also does Kindle books told me. So that's perhaps why there is a price difference for some people. And in Europe as well, Euro price is $4.49, I believe, as well. But if you would like to see a print version of it, obviously let me know, and I can certainly extend it. There's tons more Game Boy games I can cover. I've got a lot of history with the Game Boy because my brother had one when I was growing up. I had the Lynx here, the Game Boy, and so I enjoyed the Game Boy a great deal. Played on it a huge amount over the years, and I have an old Game Boy now actually that an ex-girlfriend gave me with quite a substantial pile of games actually with it as well. And someone gave me a load of at an event. Someone gave me a load of like those Asian bootleg carts that have like hundreds of games on. So I've got 3 of those as well, which is quite fun, going through them and finding all the games. But that's it really. There's not a lot more else to say about this book. It's available now. You can go and get it from Amazon and Kindle store. So, and just to reiterate this, because I say this all the time, but it's the amount of people who don't seem to realise this, you don't need to have a Kindle to read Kindle books. There are Kindle apps for Android, for iOS, and for PC. In fact, what you can see now in this video is me using the Kindle app on PC to view the book, to show you it. So there you go. You do not have to have a Kindle to read Kindle books. It's amazing how many people don't realise that. But anyway, I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my little preview of my Game Boy Games book. If you like the Game Boy and you like reading reviews and you want something new to read on your Kindle, then go and grab yourself a copy, and I hope you really enjoy it. As always, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you all again for another video very soon. Bye bye.